Hi, I'm Keith Cotter and welcome to the HSB Academy tutorial session. In this session we're going to learn about framing. And framing is essentially where we put together the framing style, the edge details and the connection detail, and how you've matched the framing styles and put them all together in order to frame our wall in 3D in our Revit model. And that will frame exactly to the way you've defined the details inside in your framing styles. During this session you'll learn also how the item container plays an important role for the frame, and we'll also learn a little bit about the console and how that makes navigation around your model for the framed wall so much easier in Revit. And finally you're going to frame that wall, and then you're going to override individually a particular detail in a given corner or T-junction, and hence you'll get a different result to the frame default result. So let's jump in and see how we can do this. Okay, so in my template file I have two architectural Revit walls. One is a 140 external wall and the other is an 89 external wall. In order to frame this wall I need to have a framing style set up, created edge details, created connection details, and also matched my framing style to my Revit wall. If you've not done any of these steps, or some of the steps I've only done, I would advise you to follow some previously recorded sessions I've done on each of these topics before proceeding with this session. So, on the stick frame ribbon here, I'm now going to go to item containers and I'm going to select all of my walls and finish. An item container is essentially an envelope that's put around each of these walls, and it's numbered and given an arrow. You will recall in my match framing style I spoke about this arrow and the significance of that arrow. I am currently standing looking at this building from outside in. But what I can also do is I can also select an item container, and here in properties I can hit the flip button, and this will automatically change the arrow to the opposite side. What I can also do is I can renumber an item container. So I can go to stick frame and item container, and this is useful because you could dictate the order number. So let's just say I'm going to say L for level, I'm going to say level 0, and I'm going to say start number is 1. I'm going to select one by one and I'm going to start the numbering from scratch. And I'm essentially going to pick the order that I want this building built. So I'm going to say this is the first wall, the second, this is the third, this is the fourth, and this is the fifth. And I would hit return on the keyboard in order to finish this particular command. And what you now get is the order in which you picked your walls is now shown on the item containers. The next thing that I want to draw your attention to is our console. So on the stick frame ribbon we have this icon here called console, and when you select that, that currently shows you now our console structure. It respects currently the level that you would have already used inside the framing of your model, and these are the same levels that you would use in Revit when designing any architectural building. But you'll notice that by default it automatically puts the item containers on the correct level. So in this case I am drawing on level 0 and it's automatically placed those item containers. I'll come back again to this console later when I frame my wall, and you will begin to see how this can really help with your navigation in your model. So at this stage we're ready to frame now, but we've got to do one more step before we do that, and that is to update connections. And what this will allow us to do is essentially show us a preview of our connection details in each case. So what we got now is currently a preview of this particular default connection that is currently set for this outside corner here. And you will recall in the connection detail session that I recorded earlier that I had already set up this particular detail called version 2. So it has already given me a preview of that particular detail. So we're ready now to do our framing at this moment in time. To frame my wall, I go to the stick frame ribbon and I hit generate, and I'm now going to generate my wall and hit finish. During the framing process, you will have also seen that you would have got a screen showing how long the framing took, and it would also present to you any potential issues that it may have in the framing. And we can close this box now. So this is our framed result, and if we look at the 3D view, you will now see that we have our framed result and showing all our studs and our sheeting as we see fit. But we'll come back to this in a few seconds again. So back here to level 0, and now I want to show you the flexibility of our detail system, and that is currently this connection detail has framed the wall with our default connection called version 2, and that's the detail that we asked it to use whenever we encountered an outside wall. But what if you wanted a different type of detail just on this corner? That's called an override detail. And we do that by essentially selecting this symbol here, and when we select that symbol we have the ability to be able to change our family connection type, and I'm going to change that here now to a default outside connection. And currently what we now get is a change connection, but in order to kick that particular connection into shape, what we need to do is use a Recalc option here under the stick frame, and this will allow us to automatically change this corner as we see. So I'm hitting escape in this case now, and what I'm now going to do is select these two walls here, go to stick frame and regenerate the walls. And what we now have is a completely different detail from the original, where we now have this set of studs versus, in the other case, this set of studs here. So that is our framed wall. And maybe just one last thing before I finish. I switch into the 3D view, and just for purposes of this, in the visual display graphics, I've turned off the walls in this case. So all I'm seeing now is the framed wall, and what I want to show you here is the ability to be able to turn off zones on your wall that you've set up on your framing style. So in this case here, if we take a look at wall number 3 in this case, and you can see here that when I open out wall number 3 and come down here, I have the ability to turn off zones. So by turning off this bulb here, I can now get to see the internal zone 0. Likewise, I could turn off zone -1, and hence even within the actual zone 0, I could then turn off even the top plates in each case. So you can really start to control right down to the detail and be able to navigate in your model very, very easily. So at last instance, let's turn everything back on, and essentially that is your framed wall. I'm Keith Cotter, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you